what's going on? As I've stated before, I grew up, well, in a Catholic family, I guess you could put it, but I never really believed in it. And like I've said in other videos, I went to a Catholic school for 13 years. Um, and I saw a fair share of odd, I found them as peculiar things going on. Specifically, my sixth grade year, my school went K through eighth. Um, One thing in particular was the sixth grade teacher I had. She was pretty strange. She was basically a nun, but not officially. She went to church every single day of the week. I'm pretty sure of it. I know that um, she She lived on the street from my babysitter the babysitter who used to babysit my sister. Um, and I'd see her walking around the neighborhood if we were over at her house. But she was basically a nun, super strict Catholic, whatever. But she wasn't officially a nun, but she was just about there. She wasn't married, had no kids, nothing, lived alone. So, and one thing I noticed is, like, at my school, every year up until sixth grade, even seventh and eighth grade, we had some sort of religion book that the school issued to every student in every class, except the sixth grade year. The sixth grade year was it was odd, and I found it to be pretty difficult because instead of using, more modern literature, when it came to anything, I mean, everything seemed to be pretty old, which I thought was kind of difficult to learn from. I mean, these books, from the 60s and 70s, some of them. And for the religion class, because it was mandatory that it was mandatory that everyone, it wasn't like high school where you could choose your classes, so everyone had to take every class, and religion, of course, was part of it. Um, but the book we had issued for religion was just the Bible, and all the lesson plans for it were derived out of the Bible. And I thought that was strange, and it was going to be kind of hard for grasping. You really didn't expect kids who are 11 and 12 and possibly maybe 13 years old to literally open up a book and devise plan or teach from that. That's pretty staunch. I mean, that's a tough thing to even do, and I didn't even have that in high school. And that's something you'd expect a college student in a private college to do. You know, derive information or write papers based on that. That was a hard thing, and I didn't like it. Well, the main thing that really got me was I think it was towards spring. I know it was after winter break. Um, she started talking about abortion, and of course, many Catholics are pro-life, and you see, she switched modes. Like, she changed modes. Instead of being the kind of, strict Catholic, she, like, flipped into, like, psycho-Catholic mode. And she had this one closet in the classroom that was locked, and it had two locks on it for some reason. And I had only seen it open this one time for this particular day. And basically, when the religion section of the day started, she went back there and opened up the closet. And there was a whole bunch of stuff in there, but I'd never seen it open until then. And then she pulled out these little boxes. They look like, these boxes look kind of like a jewelry box, like if you buy a necklace or like a tennis bracelet or something. They were kind of like that. And she had about somewhere between 6 and 10 of them. And basically, she went up to the front of the room. She had her podium there, and she stacked the boxes. And then she took one of the boxes and opened them up. And I was expecting them to be maybe rosary beads or a cross or something like that. But I was shocked to see what they were. So she opens the box, and she starts her whatever, I don't know if you call it a lecture, but her lesson plan. That's right. We'll call it a lesson plan for this section. She starts talking about abortion. She just goes off, saying how abortion is killing babies, and it's evil, and it's people who do it are going to hell, and blah 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 blah. I was like, whoa, And everyone in the class looked. I mean, a lot of people had their mouths open, like, "What the fuck was this bullshit?" And I, I was looking at this. I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" I mean, I'm only like 11 or 12 at the time. I really was kind of. Everyone was still fairly young, and she opens up the box and she turns around, and inside the box there is a bunch of plastic representations of fetuses in various stages, like from a couple weeks to about, I'd say, the second trimester. And there are these plastic fetuses in there, and she goes off, and she's just talking about this, like, you know, babies are killed at this, or babies are aborted at this stage, and it's killing a life, and blah, blah, blah. I was just stunned. And later that day, I came home, and my mom's like, "Oh, how was school?" and blah, 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 blah. And I said, our teacher today, she just went weird. And I was like, "Well, how so?" I said, "Well, you know, we had this lesson plan, religion, and she just went off on abortion." And apparently I found out, my mom's like, "What?" And I said, "Yeah, she went off about abortion. She said, we got to stop it, and this and that, and she passed around these plastic papers." My mom's like, "What?" I said, "Yeah, she's passed around these things." And, some people were she got all pissed off because some people were kind of, I don't know, playing around, if you want to say it. Because apparently these little plastic representations had magnets in them, and we're sitting in metal desks, and I was actually kind of laughing, and some people got in trouble. Not me, but they were sticking them to the side of the desk. I thought it was fine, but the fetus, they took them out of the box and they were sticking them to the side of the desk. I thought it was hilarious, but some people got yelled at for that. But my mom was like, "What? Are you kidding me?" I said, "Yeah, I mean, she did this." And a lot of parents, I don't know how many people complained or told their parents, but I think my mom went to the school and said, "This shouldn't be happening. She shouldn't be pushing, this sort of graphic detail and stuff." And the thing is I didn't know this before this, but apparently my teacher in the 6th grade had been arrested multiple times for picketing in front of Planned Parenthood and other various abortion clinics. And actually, I knew of somebody who my family was close to, who happened to be a gynecologist, and at her clinic, before she retired, she used to perform abortions, and she had threats from my 6th grade teacher and the group that she would protest with countless times. And she'd been arrested countless times. She had the cops called on her countless times. And, it wouldn't surprise me, because these people, just sit there and they protest. They think that every child's a life and blah, 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 blah. And it's just ridiculous. They want to speak. They're pushing their morality on everybody, and they really shouldn't be, because it's their opinion, and women should be in control of their own body. I'm 110% pro-choice. Women should have control of their own bodies. They should be able to, if they do not want to have a child, they should be able to have an abortion. That's my opinion. I think every woman should have that right. And people who want to take that right away, it disgusts me. They shouldn't be able to. That's just ridiculous. I can't even believe someone would consider, doing that. And it sucks. It fucking sucks. But yeah, she was pretty nuts. I don't know if she's still teaching there. She might be. I mean, she'd been teaching there for a long ass time beforehand. But luckily, well, this is kind of a fucked up thing to say, but unfortunately, I think her mom died or her dad died the year I was there. So luckily, we didn't have to have her nuts ass in class she was gone for a couple weeks. So that was kind of a benefit to us, or at least I saw it as a benefit. And I wasn't sad at all. We had a substitute, and it worked. But yeah, I mean, it was sad. I guess it was sad the circumstances were as they were, but it was great that we didn't have her for a couple weeks. So yeah, that was 6th grade. She was quite a piece of work. But then again, crazy Catholics. I swear to God, this is why. I still didn't believe in the bullshit of religion at that time, as I don't now. But I was much more quiet about it. But that was just an example of crazy experience. Another crazy experience in a Catholic school. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. But I think I'm going to do another one, or I have another one about other experiences. So yep, that's it for this one. Just wanted to share that one.